So this set of numbers, which is called the complex numbers, is giving us I. So what is this I? As we said, that I equals the square root of -1. So then if I'm talking about I squared, this is I multiplied by I. So this is the square root multiplied by itself. And as we know that a root multiplied by itself in the squared case gives us the number without a root. And if we talk about I cubic, also this is I squared times I. And I know now that I squared here equals -1. So substitute -1 instead of I squared multiplied by I, and the result is -I. And if we talk about I power 4, so I see that I power 4 is just I squared by I squared, and this is -1 by -1, since I knew that I squared is -1. And the result then is just +1. So now if we go to powers which are greater than 1, 2, 3, 4, I need to understand that any number such like 27 will be separated to two numbers. One of them is a multiple of 4. Why is it multiple of 4? Because I power 4 gives 1. So a multiple of 4 can be written as 4 multiplied by a number, just like 24 is 4 times 6. And then I will write I cubic. So 4 is the power of I inside parentheses, and this is equal 1. And 1 power 6 gives 1. What about I cubic? I see that I cubic gives -I. So the final answer is 1 multiplied by -I, which is -I. Also, if we talk about I power 81, so separate the powers to 80 and 1. And just we see that 80 is a multiple of 4, because 4 times 20 gives 80. So this is 1 raised to power 20, which is 1 at all, multiplied by I, which was I power 1, and the result is just I. Now, in case that we are talking about a negative exponent, it is not something complicated, because we can follow two steps or two methods in solving. We can use the negative power and just write it as negative plus positive. So -7, I can write it as a negative multiple of 8 multiplied by a positive number. And then this is multiple of 4. So this is 4 times -2 multiplied by I power 1. As I know that I power 4 is 1, so 1 raised to any power, negative or positive, it is just 1 multiplied by I, and the result is I. And even if we talk about -15, so we can write it as -16 times I, and we will follow the same method. This is just 4 multiplied by -4 in powers. So this is 1 raised to -4, and this is just 1 multiplied by I, and the result is I. So I see that for any one of the powers here, I'm saying that the power should be a multiple of 4 plus the remainder. This remainder should be less than 4, because if it is going to be 4, so it's going to be added to the multiples. So then I raised to power 4 is going to be 1, and the remainder is going to be a power, and the result is going to be either just I squared, which is -1, or I cubic, which is -I. And if there is a power of 4, so it is going to be added to the multiple. We can see this example. We have I power 25 so we separate it to 24 and 1. And 24 is a multiple of 4, so directly I can say that this is just 1. And here is the details of it. 4 times 6, this is 1 raised to power 6. And here we will have just 1, so the answer is I raised to the remainder, just 1. Also, if we have I power negative 90, I power 99, so this 99 is going to be separated to 96 and the 3. This is less than 4. This is the remainder. So 96 is a multiple of 3, gives 1. Then I power negative 3 equals negative I, as we said here. And this is the answer. Now if we talk about this example, I have I power 16. This is 4 raised to 4, so there is no remainder. This is 1 power 4, which is 1. But when you talk about 58, so this is 4 multiplied by 14. And this is 56. And here is the remainder. And it is easy now for us to count it. Even if we talk about I power 12n plus 93. So we separate these two parts of the exponent to I power 12n times I power 93. 12n is going to be represented as 4 multiplied by 3n. And 93 will be represented as 92 plus 1. This is I power 4 raised to any power. This is all equals 1. So I take 92. 92 is 4 times negative 23. And I power 1 will be written here. So this is the remainder. And then the final solution, this is all going to equal 1 multiplied by I, and the answer is I. See, I power negative 13. This is a negative exponent. In the previous slide, we talked about making negative 7 as negative 8 plus 1. So what if we can do it as 1 over I power 13 and change it to positive exponent? And this I can be written as I power, so this 1 can be written as I power 4 or any multiple of 4. So I will choose the next multiple that is greater than 13, which is 16, because I power 16 is already 1. So I power 16 and I power 13 in the denominator, so when we divide like bases, we subtract the powers. So the answer is I cubic, and we know that this is negative I. What about getting the root, the square root of negative numbers? So we will separate the negative than the number. It's going to be 16 multiplied by negative 1. The root here is 4, and the value of negative 1 under the square root is I. Even negative 25, this is 25 multiplied by negative 1, each under the root. This is I, and here is the value 5. Getting negative 12 is square root of 12 multiplied by square root of negative 1. This is I, and the root of 12 is 4 by 3. 2 gets out, and the 3 will remain under the root. And negative 15 is 15 by 1, but 15 cannot go out of the root, so it will stay square root 15 I.